Yeah. Oh, we're going to get a heat wave tomorrow.
Yes.
And that's
Getting a little
short
shorter.
weather tomorrow.
Oh,
I'm
I'm
ready.
sitting next to a teacher. I have to
Yeah, you have to behave. You can't throw things at you. I mean, you're much
Sorry.
closer.
Yes,
Well, he just said he has to behave, so I said he can't throw things.
That's fair.
But does he have to behave well or badly?
Well,
It's a good point, Eric.
He can also behave badly.
Yes.
no fire. Well, maybe fire.
There's definitely not a fire.
Yes, yes, there actually is.
That's fine.
It's one thing that Hanukkah taught us is that we're all pyros and we like setting things on fire.
and I broke your favorite menorah.
I had this super old secondhand plug-in menorah from like the 60s.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 50s, 60s, and he managed to make it tip over, and so it landed on the bulb. And so we're like, okay, well, it probably it's fine. We'll just take the bulb out. It should still work, and then we plugged it in. And it's a
Well, I'm going to keep it coming.
It exploded.
It exploded.
That was the first thing of his I destroyed that tree.
It's just like it's fine. It was
ready to go.
There are countries in Europe that aren't as old as that menorah.
Correct. Absolutely correct.
So unfortunately, sitting around me, you're going to figure out how much I'm doing.
That's good.
Well, but the fact that you're willing to,
I'm trying to win.
Yes.
Well, we're learning. Every time I do very greatly.
that's just, it was very surprising that he in Badman. There you go. He's really struggling till November. You're welcome. And Badman.
No, I don't.
Okay, that's perfect then. If we just pass those on, there's not quite enough for everybody, but these
Well, we
are
could
some.
share.
Yeah, you can share it front and back, some special songs. Treat, treat,
Really
treat.
hard song to learn. It
And
only
to the
has like
shots.
7 words.
Just
I actually
share what's
4.
around.
I can't even count that high.
Oh, hey, the Tuba Shots song.
Yes.
Wow, I don't know the two big shots song.
I didn't know the Tuba Shot song had a song.
Bill Friedman made it happen for us.
My last temple, they would do a Tuba Shot spectacular, and
I
they
am-
would take
as
the
I
four
am.
fruits and make
This is
cocktails out of them.
great projection.
Oh, it's fantastic.
I'm going to get my fame going.
I get those views.
Yes.
Okay. Is this the Fred Rogers?
It may be.
I'm sincerely curious.
I love Fred Rogers. I mean, what other Fred Rogers would write music? Man, he wrote music that I'm gonna.
Yep, that's him.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for
That's
looking
by
at
Fred
that.
Rogers. Yes.
Okay.
One and only.
The one and only.
Man,
Like this-
he testifies in front of Congress and he writes songs that I sing in temple. What doesn't he do?
Correct. It even says like peacefully as a musical direction.
We were just saying we can't.
Excellent.
So I was like,
Well, can you really see Fred Rogers saying "Tear It Up"?
I would love to have that. Tear it up, guys.
The his little known time in a punk band.
I didn't even learn the recording. I played cello
Hi,
until
Hi,
they
I'm
made
Jill.
us have to reduce that.
Lacey, yes. Got it. Nice to meet you.
Like when you could like write in the notes.
Is the water heater?
And then it stopped allowing us to write. I'm sorry.
Is the water heater to be loud for us?
Oh, for me, it's okay.
Okay.
I'm okay
Up
with
to
it.
you.
Yeah, I'm
We
fine.
need hot water. It's good. It should be done soon.
Mhm. Yes.
Let's see.
That was good. Band
I think we'll do that one up a pump.
Fine. Welcome. Thanks for being here and being in the basement. It's nice to see all of you. I'm Rabbi Shribman. Those of you who haven't come before, it's great that you're here. It's a little warmer down here, so I chose to do this. And I appreciate you all accommodating that. So, since it's winter, I chose for us a winter poem. It's really winter this week. It's -17 this morning when I woke up. balmy. This is a poem by, her name is Sarah Kay. Winter without you. Tonight, Brooklyn was so cold. It pulled itself a little closer to Manhattan just to have something warm to lie next to. Earlier this week, I stacked a pile of laundry, fresh from the dryer, and dove in it like it was autumn leaves. Like I thought I could stop the fading, could keep the colors if I held them in my hands. Winter has arrived, like the stray cat who patrols my neighborhood, annoyed by my foolish surprise at its sudden appearance. My building super rang my doorbell this afternoon and came in to change the knob on my heater. I greeted him in flannel pajamas and a sweatshirt. Oh, thank goodness, I laughed. The heat has been cranking all night, and it keeps me awake. He considered the pile of unfolded laundry and 1 p.m. pajamas. Just you? He asked. Just me. It is December, or February, and nobody asked if I was ready. This week, we are celebrating Tu B'Shvat. It's on Monday, one of my favorite holidays. It reminds us to appreciate the earth, even though it can be so cold. It reminds us that spring is indeed coming in some near future. So we're going to have some songs tonight that will echo those feelings and remind us that warmth and growth will come eventually. So this first one is by one and only Fred Rogers from Pittsburgh, where I'm also from. Tree, tree, tree. Very easy to join in if you're willing to.
And those sheets went around, so you should have the tune. This was a brand new song for me, so it's very cute. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. Tree, 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 tree. We love you, yes we do, yes we do. We love you. Tree, 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 tree. One more. Tree, 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 tree. We love you, yes we do, yes we do. We love you. Tree, 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 tree.
Tree. Wait, I forgot the words.
On this Shabbat, we create our moment in time. We pause to reflect upon our yesterdays and tomorrows, to renew our ties with our families and friends, to restore our energies, to refresh our spirits. As the sun descends and the shadows lengthen, the direction of the day gives way to the stillness of night. It is time now for us to see, not with our eyes, but with our hearts and minds. As the day gives way to evening, it is time for us to welcome Shabbat. The candles stand before us, waiting to be lit. We recall our ancestors as we too seek to dispel the darkness and banish the cold, to bring glowing softness, warmth, and safety into our homes. In the dancing flames of these candles, kindle warmth within our hearts, wisdom in our minds, and passion in our souls. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ne'er shall
Shabbat.
On the back of those same song sheets is our next Tu B'Shvat song. This is by Debbie Friedman. Frankie found this for us. It's a wonderful piece to have.
So I practiced it on piano, and we'll see if I can do it on guitar. Actually upstairs, so we'll take it a little slower, just so my fingers can get used to it. Here we go. On Tu B'Shvat, watch the trees dancing in the breeze, giving shade to you and me. The beauty that we come to see, that comes from planting just a seed. Go on. And the earth will be happy, and the earth will sing songs. We will plant our trees and watch them blossom. Giving gifts, giving strong. Unto B'Shvat, watch the trees dancing in the breeze, giving shade for you and me. The beauty that we come to see, that comes from planting just a seed. And the trees will be happy, and the trees will sing songs. They will grow to be full of fruit so sweet, caring for the hungry you and me. Unto B'Shvat, watch the trees dancing in the breeze, giving shade to you and me. The beauty that we come to see, that comes from planting just a seed. Nice job.
Beautiful. Excellent. That was very nice. All right. We're going to turn to our prayer books, the very thick red books, page 145. We begin Kabbalat Shabbat, the Psalms of Shabbat, with Yedid Nefesh, which is actually not a psalm. It's a love poem. I'm going to chant the first verse, and we can continue on with the English. Yedid Nefesh Av HaRachaman Meshavavta El Ritzona Yarutzavta Kimo Ayal Ishtachave El Muhadracha Ki Ye'erav Lo Yidu Tachmino Fetsu Vechol Ta'am Yadadai Glorious One, you lit up the universe. My soul is faint with love and longing for you. Please, God, heal the emptiness in my soul. Show her the beauty of your light. Then she will regain health and strength and will be your servant forever. Let your compassion be stirred for this, your child, the child that you love. For again and again, I have tried to experience your splendor and your energy. Please, God, being with you is what I desire. Have compassion on me. Don't hide your face. Reveal yourself to me, dear one. Put over me your sukkah of peace. Let my world be illuminated by your presence. Let me sing and rejoice in you. Quickly, my beloved, now is the time. Let me experience your grace now and forever. We'll continue on page 146 with Lakuni Ranana, Psalm 95. If people fall, can they not also rise? If they break away, can they not return? The stork in the sky knows when to migrate. The dove and the swallow know the season of return. What human instinct knows the time to turn back? What cue sparks the conscience of the soul? We pray to sense this day anew, attuned to the call of sacred living. That was by Elise Freshman. We'll continue on page 150. This will be a meditative moment, hopefully. Encourage you to try to relax if you can. If you have anything that is crossed, perhaps to uncross it, your legs, your arms, your heartstrings. And just take a moment to take a couple deep breaths. If you want to close your eyes, you're welcome to do so as well. We pause for a few moments to let go of the week that has passed. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Like every other week, it has been a week of striving. We each had an agenda of what we wanted to do. We each had great hopes for the week, but we did not accomplish all of our objectives. Although much remains undone, on Shabat, we pause. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. As Shabbat approaches, imagine your agenda drifting to the back of your mind. Let all your strivings float away for a day. Breathing in, take in the fresh air of Shabbat. Breathing out, let go of your strivings. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Like every other week, it has been a week of struggle. At times, it seemed that everything was going wrong. At times, it seemed that we went from crisis to crisis. Although much is yet unsettled, on Shabbat, we pause. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. As Shabbat approaches, feel your concerns drift to the back of your mind. Let your struggles float away for a day. Breathing in, take in the fresh air of Shabbat. Breathing out, letting go of your struggles. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. We let go of the week as we welcome Shabbat. We let go of the week as we welcome Shabbat. We're going to continue on page 152 with the Chadoti. At the last verse, we will rise and face this door to welcome in the Shabbat bride.
So we're all kind of on equal ground because this is a new Lachadodi for the congregation here. Some of you may know it. It's the Abi Rotenberg one. So you may possibly know it. I may stumble on my words on the verses. So if so, I apologize. I'm just trying to get it. One thing that's really interesting as a musician is that Hebrew music is not written in meter. So each verse is different. It's not an exact number of syllables. So that makes it challenging because every verse is different. You have to fit the words in. So I'm still learning this one, but it's a beautiful, beautiful chorus. And I think we can all at least learn that. So we'll do this twice at the beginning. So what we do on this one is we're going to sing the syllable la 3 times. La 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 chadodi, and then la 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 likrat kala, la 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 pene Shabat lekala. So 3 la-las. La 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 chadodi, la 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 likrat kala. La 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 pene Shabat lekala. Try that again. La 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 chadodi, la 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 likrat kala. La 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 pene Shabat lekala. Shamor v'zachor b'dvarecha, Ishmi'anu el amichah. Adonai echad, Shemo echad. L'Shem Verse 2. Likrat Shabbat lepenecha, ki mikol habaraka, merosh miketen nesucha. So la 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 chadodi, la 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 likrat kala, La 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 dodi, la 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 li kakala, la 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 b'nei Shabbat, b'nei Shabbat you slow this one down.
You rise.
Gamba Simcha, Tokamune, Mamsekula, Boikala, Boikala, La 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 dodi, la 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 li kakala, la 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 b'nei Shabbat, b'nei Shabbat one more time. La 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 li dodi, la 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 li kakala. La la la, b'nei Shabbat, b'nei Shabbat
Nice job. Like in a recital or something. We should all bow after that. I know I should. So I can't sing very well.
Oh well, preaching with choir.
All right. Let's see. This is by Alexander M. Schindler. Prayer is not purely an act. All things pray, and all things pour forth their souls. The heavens pray, the earth prays, every creature and every living thing. In all life there is longing. Creation is itself but a longing, a kind of prayer to the Almighty. What are the clouds, the rising and the setting of the sun, the soft radiance of the moon, and the gentleness of the night? What are the flashes of the human mind, and the storms of the human heart? They are all prayers, the wordless outpouring of boundless longing for God. We'll continue on page 157. This is the Ma'ariv Aravim, our blessing for the evening, for darkness, for the changing between light and dark. We can read together in English. We bless you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe. You give the word, and evening arrives. You open the gates of heaven at the right times. You've established all the cycles wisely, days and nights, seasons and constellations, all progressing through the heavens, in accordance with your will. You create day and night, rolling away light to make way for darkness, rolling away darkness to make way for light. Now you are removing light and bringing darkness, and you are separating between day and night. You are Adonai Zot, ruling the heavenly bodies. You are a living God, an enduring God. You will rule over us and all of creation forever and ever. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings the evening. Baruch atah Adonai, Ma'ariv Aravim. Our blessing of love for God and our acknowledgement of God's love for us is on page 158, Ahavat Olam. If you are willing, please join with me if you know it. Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Ahavat
Torah u'mitzvot Chukim u'mishpatim Otanu limadeta Adonai Eloheinu V'kumeinu nasiach bechukecha V'nizmach b'divrei Toratecha U'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed Ki hem chayenu Ve'orech yameinu Uvahem negeyom ha'layla Negeyom ha'layla Ve'ahavatam tasir Mimenu le'olamim Baruch atah Adonai Ohem Amo Yisrael Ohem Amo Yisrael.
The Shema, the declaration of our faith, is on page 159. If you wish to rise, I encourage you to do so. If not, I encourage you to sit, whatever you like to do. Okay. Shema
Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Oshem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam va'ed.
Please be seated if you're standing.
Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'emet asher adoni mitzvecha hayom al levavecha Shishinatam levanecha v'dibarta b'am v'shitecha v'techa u'lechtecha v'derech v'shomecha u'mecha u'keshotam le'od al yadecha v'hayu l'totapim b'neinecha Uchatam Amizuzot B'techa U'visharecha
Le'ma'at tizkaru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'hitem kedoshim le'lechem Ani Adonai Elohechem Asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim להיות לכם אלוהים, אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. Doubting is but the forefront of faith, a faith in the infinite growth of an unbounded creation. A doubting age is one of restlessness and discontent with what is current. A doubt is an idea that is still alive. To doubt that the past has uncovered all things is to express faith that many things are still to be uncovered. To doubt that we have grown to our full stature and knowledge is to express faith that we may develop into beings of such power and dignity that we cannot as yet imagine what shall be. Kenneth L. Patton. Micha Mocha, our Song of Freedom, is on page 162. This week in our Torah, we are reading about the Micha Mocha. We are reading about the crossing of the Sea of Reeds when the Israelites are finally going towards freedom. And this moment is so important in our story that we pray about it every single day in the morning and the evening. We make sure to acknowledge it. And so it is the bottom 3 lines of the page, and we can all rejoice in that moment of freedom and remember that not everyone in this world is free, and we are still working to make everyone else feel free in this world.
So this one you'll know, it's a Debbie Friedman. And just for the people who are new among us, we totally welcome you and it's wonderful. But I want to just explain briefly. We're going to start with a yai lai lai or a lai lai lai. So it's just syllables and we call it nigun in Judaism, in Hebrew singing. It's kind of a wordless prayer. And when it's nice because it helps you to learn the melody. So the first little part is just the la la la. And that way you'll learn the melody and then we'll come in with the Micha Mocha. And then we do verses and kind of come back to that chorus. So here we go. Let's try that one more time. Micha Mocha. Micha Mocha b'nei Madonna. Micha Mocha neda b'kodesh. Norata ilot osefele. Norata ilot osefele. Ma'achotecha rabbanecha. Okeyayam le'noshel v'yiriyam. Selihan ve'amaru. Selihan ve'amaru. Adonai imod le'olam va'ed. Adonai imod le'olam va'ed. Micha Mocha. Micha Mocha b'nei Madonna. Micha Mocha neda b'kodesh. Norata ilot osefele. Norata ilot osefele. Let's do a lai lai lai. Lai 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 lai.
On page 163, we remember that nighttime and sleeping can be a time of fear and vulnerability. And sometimes we can feel at God's mercy and wonder if we're going to wake up the next morning. But we want to have a time of peace in the evening and feel reassured that we are being protected and that we are safe in our homes, in our sanctuaries, in our hotel rooms. And so this Hashki Benu is actually in these books. If you can all have access to one or share with a friend. We are on page 3. This is a combination song of Hashki Benu and then One Day Matisyahu. So it's the top of page 3.
Oh, that's
Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leShalom, v'hamidenu shomereinu l'chaim,
Hashivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, v'cholideinu shomreinu lechaim. Sometimes I lay under the moon and thank God I'm breathing, and I pray He'll take me soon, 'cause I'm here for a reason. Sometimes in my dreams I drown, but I never let it get me down. So when negativity surrounds, I know someday it'll all turn around, because all my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't want to fight no more. There'll be no more wars, and our children will play. One day, one day, one day. One day, one day, one day. Hashivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, v'cholideinu shomreinu lechaim. Hashivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, v'cholideinu shomreinu lechaim.
May you all feel a sense of peace this evening. We'll continue in our larger prayer books on page 165. Yitkadal v'yitkadash Shmei Rabbah, Ve'alma tizrach yirtei v'yamli malchutei, v'chayechot yomecha, u'chayetecho beit Yisrael. Hagala, Hagala, u'bizman kariv, V'yinu Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah mevarach, Ve'alma u'chaneohaya, Yitbarach, Yitbarach, V'yishtabach, V'yitpar, V'yitmam, V'yitnaseh, V'yitadar, V'yitaleh, V'yitalach, Shmei Kedusha B'richu, Leila Mikol Birchata V'shirata, Tush Bechata V'nemata, Damiran Be'alma, Ve'imru. Amen. Sometimes hiccuping is actually God's way of reminding you to breathe. Perhaps you're just being reminded to breathe. That's what I tell my patients in the hospital when they have hiccups. We should all just breathe. Remember that breathing is important. Hiccups are not embarrassing. They are part of life. We're going to continue on page 166 with the Amidah, our standing prayer. We will do the first part together, and then you can have a moment for your own prayers or to read from the prayer book as well.
Adonai satatita ufi tehillah. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise.
You okay?
Adonai Tsuri, Adonai Tsuri, Adonai Tsuri, Vekoami.
Page 174.
Yehiyu Rasanim Refim Refim Egyon Libi Lefanecha Adonai Tsuri, Adonai Tsuri, Adonai Tsuri, Vekoami.
When I was a kid, my parents used to make me read the entire front section of the newspaper every morning as I ate breakfast. We all had to do it. My parents would read the entire paper, but I could barely get past the first few lines. This wasn't because I was young and didn't have a very big vocabulary or I was bored or anything like that. It was because the news made me feel scared and a little sick and confused. And I remember I tried telling my parents this one morning, and they responded, "You still have to read the paper." I threw my hands up and became teary-eyed. This was around the time of 9/11, and we were living in DC. The terror was in my backyard, it felt like. Of course, as an obedient daughter, I continued to read the front section every day. And now, more than 20 years later, I still read the front section over breakfast, although now it's on a screen. Nothing has changed, though. The news still make me sick and scared. The last 10 days in particular have made me pause, as each headline of killing, police brutality, and anti-Semitism appeared on my screen. I am at a loss. How do I reassure you that things are okay? How do I tell myself that these are independent and unique acts of violence that won't occur again? Truthfully, I can't do either of those things. I wish I could quell our fears and make me a little less angry, make all of us a little less angry at the world. Sometimes when I'm in these hard moments, I turn to a different text that is just as violent, but somehow more comforting than the news, the Torah. This week we celebrate the Israelites' newfound freedom from Egypt, some 430 years after being enslaved by Pharaoh. This week is supposed to be full of singing and rejoicing, just as Miriam and Moses did after they crossed the Sea of Reeds. And this is something to celebrate. Don't get me wrong. In celebration of their freedom, Moses and the Israelites sang to God. They sang of God's saving power. And we sing this part of a song every day as we chant Mi Chamocha. We do this to remember this pivotal moment in our existence, in our history, the change from captivity to freedom. The text and cantillation paint a picture of hope and change. And Moses is said to have sung the song in a different voice to glorify God's saving power and to acknowledge this different moment. But every victory is a result of lives lost. It is unknown if the Israelites turned around during their dancing and saw the Egyptians being killed by the violent waters. According to our text, they just marched on, leaving the past behind. And when we celebrate this moment, we often don't tell the whole story. We focus on the happy moments of leaving slavery. Just as I can't ignore the headlines to focus on something happier, we cannot forget how the Egyptians died as we achieved our victory. Maybe you're saying to yourself, they deserved it. They made us slaves for 400 years. And perhaps they did deserve it. But it would be unjust to celebrate our freedom without acknowledging what created that freedom. Our gift of freedom leads us to wandering in the desert. We learn a crucial lesson that God expects us to treat others, mostly the stranger, with respect and equality. We are told later on in the text, "You shall not wrong or nor oppress a stranger, for you were strangers in the land of Egypt." And this is repeated 36 times in the Torah, which we understand as a double chai, or 2 lives. The point is to consider both lives, yours and the stranger's, as equally important in the eyes of God. As our sages argued, the fact that we were slaves awakens our sensitivity and consideration for strangers and for the unfortunate who suffer and need help. As it is stated, "Do not oppress the stranger, for you know how it feels to be a stranger, since you were strangers in the land of Egypt." I know that the Egyptians were not strangers to us, yet they deserve to be acknowledged and be treated respectfully, even if they disgraced us. Our gift of freedom from the Egyptians was done by divine intervention. We cannot expect that a God will intervene and protect those oppressed in our world today. If God had, we would not have any of these problems. And so the responsibility for their safety, for our safety and well-being, falls to us. Even though it hurts to hear the perils and tragedies of our country, we still have to fight to protect everyone around us and to make sure equality and respect are our goals. We know that we cannot be free until we are all free. When the Israelites crossed the Red Sea, the song proclaimed the glorification of God and the joy of their freedom. They continued to be guided by God as they journeyed to the Promised Land. But our freedom comes with a responsibility to see that all people can sing their own song of the God-given right to freedom. In Judaism, when we celebrate something great, we also take a moment to acknowledge what it took to get to that moment. At a wedding, we smash a glass, remembering how delicate the world is and how a temple was destroyed. We do this among all the joy of the moment to remind us that our world is fragile and it only takes one action to destroy it all. After my wedding, my mother-in-law had the pieces of the broken glass made into mezuzah for our apartment. The broken pieces became something new, still carrying with it the fragility of the moment. As the Israelites embarked on their journey to the Promised Land as a free people, they did not acknowledge how they got there. But we can be a different generation of Israelites. We have the opportunity to remember those who have fallen and have been killed. In our remembering, we can begin to fight for their justice and for their freedom as we celebrate our own. We're going to take a moment for a blessing of healing for ourselves, for our world. If you're thinking of someone in particular who you'd like to lift up at this moment, I encourage you to share their name with us.
I'm Schumann.
Danielle Pilkin.
Ray Glasner. The Mishabera is found on page 82. I think it's on the right side of the page. Yes.
Misha Be'erachavoteinu Mikol HaBracha Le'imotenu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishavera imotenu, mikol havracha le'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
The Alenu is on page 179. This prayer is actually about division and the differences between people in this world. Unfortunately, we don't notice that always. But perhaps we can see in a different way that we are all different, and we come together in this moment to be united in Judaism, in religion, and in love. Page 179, you can rise.
Vanavnu korim, u'mishafavim u'motim, lifnei melech hamelachim, shafaro sharu. V'melech Adonai, v'melech ha'kol ha'aretz. Hayom havu, Yehyeh Adonai echad, u'shemo echad.
Please be seated. In the rising of the sun and in its going down, we remember them. In the wind and the chill of winter, we remember them. In the opening of buds and the rebirth of spring, we remember them. In the blueness of the sky and in the warmth of summer, we remember them. In the rustling of the leaves and the beauty of autumn, we remember them. In the beginning of the year and when it ends, we remember them. When we are weary and in need of strength, we remember them. When we are lost and sick at heart, we remember them. When we have joys we yearn to share, we remember them. So long as they live, we too shall live, for they are now a part of us as we remember them. This month, we're remembering Philip Brightman, Edith Phillips, Edith Sachs, Rose Levine, Ahuva, Rabbi Theodore H. Gordon, Ruth Edelstein Karen, Albert Minkus, Ronald N. Satz, Richard Metzger, Sherman L. Shudakoff, and we are in a period of mourning for Jerome Weiser. If there are any names to add, I encourage you to do so. I'm thinking of Judy Olson. The Mourner's Cottage is on page 182. You can rise in remembrance of those loved ones. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah Be'alma Divrach Yirtei V'yamlich Malchutei V'chayyon V'yomechon V'chayei Tefol Beit Yisrael V'agala V'zman Hariv V'imru Amen. Yehei Shemei Rabbah V'rach Le'olam U'lei Amaya Yitbarach V'yishtatach V'yitar V'yitromam V'yitnaseh V'yithadar V'yitale V'yitalal Shemei Kedusha Barechu Le'ela Mikol Birchata V'shirata Tushbechata V'nechamata Tamira Be'alma V'emru Amen. Yehei Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya V'chaim Aleinu Ve'al Chol Yisrael V'emru Amen. Osei Shalom B'rumav Hu Ya'aseh Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Chol Yisrael Ve'al Chol Tevel V'emru Amen. May their memories be a blessing. Please be seated. Oh, okay, sure. Okay, go ahead.
So this is, you probably all know the priestly blessing. May the Lord bless you and keep you. And the rabbi will speak it in a moment. And normally I do this on piano, so this is not going to transmit very well, but I'll just sing a little piece of it. It's a beautiful, beautiful blessing. And it starts in English and then the chorus is in Hebrew. So I'll see if I can find a tune that
It's
I
on
can sing.
page 7 in this book, if you want to follow.
So I'll just try a verse or two of it. I won't sing the whole thing. Ruach Elohim, may God's spirit be with you. Ruach Elohim, keep you safe from harm. May the love of God be your shelter from every storm. Here comes the Hebrew. Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha Ya'er Adonai v'navelecha v'chunecha Yisa Adonai v'navelecha v'yasem lecha shalom. I'll do one more verse. We'll go up a little. Ruach Elohim, may God bless you and keep you, bring you to the light and save from harm. May the love of friends be your shelter from every storm. Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chunecha Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom.
May the Holy One who blessed your family protect you. May you feel the spark shining from within you. May you feel the warmth of the holy light. May you be embraced in love and understanding. And may you be blessed with peace. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you all for being here. You can join us for Kiddush and Motzi for a little bit of food and drink. And for some conversation and maybe some more warmth.
Yay, more warmth. Yay, more warmth. Yay, more warmth.
Into it.
Yes, this is a library.
Or do I need to sign it?
No.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Oh, yeah,
What's
sure.
your name again?
Rabbi Sherman.
Is the reason we say Hebrew is
Again.